It's all a choice. All of it. Who you are, your personality, your intellect, how you show up, how you don't. It's all a choice. All of it is a choice. So every group that you align yourself with is a choice when you agree with that group. Whether like your agreement with that thing or that topic or that group or that action makes you feel good or not, it's all a choice about alignment. Is some of it more natural or you're more inclined to? Yes. But it's all a choice. Like, you don't have to be in the fraternity or the sorority. You don't have to honor the religion that your parent gave you when you were coming up. Like, as an adult, once you become conscious that not everybody is this thing, right? That's how the stuff that comes from our parents works. Once you become conscious in the world that this thing that my parent gave me, I don't have to honor it the same way that they did. I don't have to see it the same way that they did. I don't have to practice it the same way that they did. I don't have to understand it the same way that they did. Whether you choose to continue with it or not from that point, that's where the choice is. That's why gender is a choice too. Because, and the natural world gives you examples of this. Like men who have micro penises, like, I would argue that some of y'all are really just hairy females because your micro penis ain't no big than some women's natural clit, which tells me that yo, like, chemically, you probably got a high level of estrogen, which would make you female. Because really, like, if we talking about down to the chemical biology, the only difference between male and female is testosterone level. At least that's one of the, like, main ones that they found so far. Right? Estrogen versus testosterone level. And it's all relatives because ain't nobody, across the board, everybody got a different level of that if you look at the individual level. Now, if we're talking about averages, you might have an argument there that you don't fit in the average. But then it becomes a question of, are you what makes you you? Is that because of what's inside you or how you present, or a combination of the two, and you get to decide how you present? That's why I don't feel bad for quote unquote men who have micro penises. Claim your femaleness, your femininity, accept yourself and present yourself like who you really are. And I already know, like, that some of y'all ain't gonna like me saying it that way, but I don't know a different way to say it right now. If I find a different way to say it, I will come back and state it, like, more digestible for you people. But that's where I'm at with it right now. Y'all gonna allow me, my humanity, to evolve and to change and to express the stuff that makes me uncomfortable and y'all uncomfortable? Because if we don't ever talk about it, if we don't ever resolve it as a group, how we gonna become comfortable about it so that it ain't bothering people and setting them off and wanting them to, pew other people because somebody expressed their opinion about the thing that you don't like, or the thing that sets you off. So yeah, I think I'm gonna use this space to say the stuff out loud that makes me uncomfortable, that may make you uncomfortable. Some of y'all like will be with it till you not. And I get that, because I'm the same way. Sometimes I am with it until I'm not. And then I'll be like, okay, I can't go no further right here. So let me just go ahead and accept this label for a while until my position changes. And then once my position changes, I will either shed that label and pick up a new one, or I won't feel the need to be labeled. Which is really where I prefer to be, because not being labeled allows me to see both sides of it. Like, if I don't care because I ain't got a personal investment in it, I can see the foolishness of it all, which is amusing to me. and above all else, I have found that being amusing to myself is like where some of my greatest moments of joy are, because I can laugh when I am alone. Like, I know how to make myself laugh, because I know what the shit is that's funny to me. And the people who I laugh with are blessed too, because I know what to say to them to get them going. And when you get going, it feels good. It feels good in your body, in your soul, and it makes you feel like bubbles on the inside. Like, that's how I feel when I laugh. I love to laugh. You can't convince me that I don't, because I have found some sick shit to laugh at. Okay? Sometimes you gotta laugh at the sick shit, because it ain't no other way to get through it. That's all I'm saying. And like, when you do it, like, if you don't do it around the right people, they gonna label you as crazy. But what I'm telling you, if you can find a way to laugh at that sick shit, you'll be alright. Because what I found in life is sometimes part of living is that, like, we choose where we put our attention at, but then sometimes you had that one rude person who you didn't know who was rude inside your circle, and they show you something that offends you, and you like, why would you even show me this? Like, you knew this was gonna make me upset. Right? You ain't able to turn your attention away fast enough, and you get sick to your stomach when you see it, and it makes you puke. But I'm telling you, it's when you can learn to laugh at puke, girl. A motherfucker won't be able to gross you out. And they do that on purpose. They do that on purpose so that you turn away and you don't look. Because if you don't look, you can't hold them accountable. That's the thing. And for the people who don't want to be held accountable, no, they don't want you to look. They want you to see it. If you do see it, they want you to witness their depravity. They want you to be so much in shock and so discombobulated that you can't even form the right words about describing their depravity without offending somebody else. What I'm telling you is, go ahead and look, and don't let nobody do no bullshit in front of you, because they make you a witness to their depravity, to their crimes against themselves, to their crimes against humanity, and then they make light of it, and it ain't no big deal. And that's how you get atrocities where babies die, and mothers die, and pregnant people die, and it's just death for no reason. And you can't make me see the sense in death when everybody just out here trying to live on an individual basis, especially babies and mothers and the innocent. Ain't out here harming people, just out here trying to live, breathe, love, and spread beauty. And here you go, making me witness death for no reason. When you could look at beauty with me. But because you need control or power or whatever it is, the thing that drives you, that you offend somebody else with, you steal time, energy, beauty, innocence from the people who need it the most. Like, if you want to show me something, show me some pretty shit. Show me some shit that's gonna make me say, in a good way. Show me something that is going to inspire me to want to stay and be here and continue to give. Show me that stuff. Remind me of the amusement that I had before, so that I want to be here. That's what I require. Not just everybody else, but of myself too. And so that's where my self-discipline comes into hand, because no, you're not going to make me break character or look at something that's not going to benefit me and then gets funny. So then I get upset, and you vampirically siphon off my energy of my upset or my anxiousness or my nervousness or anything that don't feel good to me for your amusement. Like, that's cruel. Don't laugh at my pain. Don't laugh at my discomfort. Like, recognize it and understand it for what it is. And what it is it ain't for your amusement. Like, you're not going to abuse me in that way. So if you one of them people who don't know how to control themselves, or you take advantage, I will eliminate you from my circle of influence, or I will limit you to the capacity in which I need you. And that might be selfish to say, but that's how I feel. Like, I'm not doing it with you. I'm not. Like, you're not going to just continually withdraw from me without sowing into me. And if that means that my circle gets smaller, that's what it's going to have to mean. The people who want to be, because I give as good as I get. Like, if you here with me, I'm here with you. Like, I'm sharing all the feels. Sad shit, the honest shit, the hurtful shit, like the laughs, the good points, all of it. I want the whole spectrum with you. What you got to do, you got to do your part. You got to be honest. You got to give as much as you can, as much as you take. To give as much as you can, really, it means to give as much as you take. Because as much as you take from other people, you got to be giving it back. Especially from women and kids, because women and kids, they give and they give and they give and they give. They give so much that they don't realize they're doing it. Most women and most kids give their energy without knowing it. Because they've been so socialized to do it that they give and they give and they give to their detriment. You know how I know it's kids too? I know it's kids too because of these people who grow up and they say that they were parentified at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, where they said that they had to take responsibility for something that they were not equipped to take responsibility for. That's how, when a kid tells you like it's too much, it's only so much forcing and pushing you can do. And that's an individual thing. Like, that's why it's important that you as a parent pay attention to know when to push your kid and when to let your kid back off and do it in their own time. That's a different conversation. I don't know if I want to talk about that today, because part of that is how mothers, sometimes y'all allow y'all boys. I know for a freaking fact, I'm trying to improve my language, because I know everybody don't appreciate cussing, but I do appreciate a good cuss word. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh, it's a different conversation because of how mothers treat their sons versus how mothers treat their daughters and the time that they allow. Like, most people think that y'all start doing that as parents around puberty, right? But it's a lie. I, as an auntie, as a child-free person, have observed parents where both the mother and the father were present, and how y'all require more of baby girls. And when I say baby girls, I mean like 1-month-olds, 2, 3-month-olds. Y'all require more of baby girls even then than you do of baby boys. And you do it through your commands, how you talk to them. Like it. So if babies could tell you to stop touching them, they would. Right? If babies could tell you to stop touching them, they would. This is why, as a parent, this is why you're supposed to tickle your kids. So that you, especially a kid who is not talking, and the kid needs to like start learning language skills, making utterances and murmurs, you got to tickle that kid in order to get that kid to make a squeak, because then that kid gets used to hearing their own voice and they're not upset with it. Sometimes, like, really, I think people who are, this is going to be a controversial opinion, I think some people who are on the autism spectrum is because they weren't bugged enough as a child. Enough attention wasn't paid to them. Like, they weren't tickled enough in order to make them use their voice early enough where they got used to hearing their own voice, because the parent hadn't been socialized to understand that kids are, like, you only get used to, that's why most people don't like hearing themselves talk. Right? You have them people who don't like hearing the recording of their own voice. And it's because they didn't get used to hearing their own voice until they were older. And by then, like, the way that it came out didn't sound the way that it did in their own head. Like, this is going to be a tangent. But I think that a lot of what life is matching the truth with reality, right? It's playing the matching game. Like, is what they told me to expect reality? Is what they told me it was, does it match reality? And I think that most people who are upset with life, who like got gripes against huge, large swaths of people and groups, I think those people are most upset because those people were told the most inaccuracies, and their truth is not lining up with reality. Sometimes not even a little bit. And they like, what the heck? My mom told me, my dad told me, my teacher told me, my school told me, my race told me. Whatever it is, that life was going to be this way, and it's not. And I'm pissed about it. I think that's how that happens. Okay, let me see if I can get back from the tangent. Anyway. But like the socialization of the boys and the girls, right? That's what I was talking about. So this is the thing. Because of the way that the boys and the girls are socialized from the time that they get here, y'all don't bug the boys as much. And it's maybe because boys cry louder. I don't know. Right? That's what y'all need to figure out, is why y'all not pushing the boys like you push the girls. Because you'll tickle a little girl until she tell you to stop. I taught my niece that early. She say, stop please. I stop. But y'all don't do that to little boys. Instead, when you tickle little boys, you make them take it. If they doing something to tickle, or they react to a tickle, y'all make a little boy, y'all don't allow a little boy to say, stop please. Y'all be like, oh, he can take it, he can take it, it's wrestling, he a man, he can take it. Instead of like, I don't know if men feel about it. I think they do feel bodily autonomy, but in a lot of ways I think they don't. I think, and the don't part is, I think it's because they've been socialized, a lot of them, to expect that their nature is that they gotta be driven to replicate. And they replicate because they can't create. Not on their own. Men do create. And like the way that they create in order to get there is harder for them. They have to create. They have to actually create with their minds. A man has to be able to create with his mind. And the reason is because they only believe other men. So y'all need to, like, creativity with boys is where it's at. Because they will only believe when another man is successful at creation, that something is possible. That's why y'all boyfriends be fighting y'all on going on vacation or going to brunch or doing whatever. It's because it ain't gonna be nothing there but a bunch of females. Ignorant asses. I don't talk to men who talk like that. Because this is the thing. Even if it is just a bunch of women there, girls, or people who are femme presenting, you still gonna learn something. You still gonna enjoy yourself. Just for being the only or one of the few men there in attendance. You gonna get something. Men, like, y'all can't fool me with that, you don't see the value in it until another man tells you what the value is. If you can't find the value for yourself as a man, you're not no kind of man that I want to talk to. I'm sorry. If you cannot find the value in a thing and not associate it with somebody who got X, Y chromosomes, we ain't gonna be able to talk. Because I like smart people. And I believe in giving credit to smart people, both women and men. Men did a hell of a job. XY people did a hell of a job stealing credit for women's creation. And I see evidence of it every day, because as many black single mothers that there are, when their sons, the black single mothers, right? Because when a black man is first celebrated in the NFL or whatever, they have to ask him it would be disrespectful not to ask him about how he got there if you didn't talk about his mother. Like, and then, like, I'm struggling to find the words for this. I might have to think about that part. Let me think about that and I'll come back to it if somebody remind me or if it come up again. I think I'm done.